Hey, 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 it's your brother Van Silk, not in my house. My podcast. That's on YouTube. I need you to subscribe, join in with me on the conversations, and listen. I'm not a hip hop pioneer. I'm not, well, I hate that term, but I'm not a hip hop historian. I'm a true historian. A true historian is the one who's going to make sure that we can actually tell the truth. And what I have articulated now is 73 to 83, the most important years of the development and cultivating of the hip hop culture. Now, this is part two of part four with my interview with the Hispanic Foundation of the MCs from Rubie and Whip from Grandwizzard Theodore and the Fantastic Five, Charlie Chase from the Coldcrush Brothers, Mr.Schick from MeanMachine, which was basically 1981. MeanMachine had a song, I think it was Disco Dreams on Sugar Hill Records, where they had three Hispanic members in the group. And I was trying to figure out why Hispanic didn't flock heavily when that happened. Need here to say, the original B-Boys, we're not going to ever forget Trixie, Wendell, who's no longer here, Dancing Doug. God, my brain is like on autopilot. Dancing Doug, Trixie, the twins, Kevin and Keith. Back then it was called Nigga Twins. The original Clark Kent, Charlie Rock, I'm missing somebody. But the flyer's right there. And there's more. But I want people to please do understand. You can't change the timelines. I'm not going to let you disrespect the culture. And you need to talk to the foundation of those who was there. Hispanic contributed to it. We have flyers going from 72 to 83. We have more than that. We all know early in the game, if you got on a popular DJ flyer, before you had a record, that's how you got your bones in this game. You didn't get it off no Mickey Mouse show. You got it if you was doing a Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 4 or 5 or Funky Brothers Disco Funky 4, if you was actually put on those flyers. Ain't none of y'all gonna be on the Hevalo flyer, Zulu Nation flyer, Nubian Production, Mandipolite, Cool DJ AJ, Arthur Armstrong, Sandwich. Let's keep it 100. Sapphire Crew in Harlem with the late Willie Gums when they was at the Rennie Ballroom. The reason why I came to the 10-year, because they eliminate a lot of those who want to lie, because your age don't match. Ain't none of y'all was at Cool Herc 72, 73, 74. Maybe some of y'all started going 75. There was no MCs. Cool, everybody that cultivated in this culture of hip hop all went to the Herc parties and then the band parties. And you had Disco King Mario. I was talking to Africa Islam. I got the first flyer of the Mulberry Crew. So a lot of y'all need to stop fabricating your timeline. The reason why I'm pausing, because this is the 49th anniversary of hip hop, and we're gonna sit up here and still have this conversation, and it's disgusting. I'm disgusting. I don't care if you don't like me. I've been doing this, articulating the timeline for years. I got a lot of interviews, audio interviews, where some of y'all actually told the truth. Now y'all sit up here lying. You know, when you first get on the fly, that was the way that you said, I've made it. Before record, if you got on the flyer, I made it. When the Furious 5 and the Funky 4 and them were gone, and the other groups was coming in, and you Mike and Dave, and you had Coldcrush, Fantastic. I made it. Crash Crew and all the groups under. Let's stop it. I'm not saying you wasn't around it this year and that. Who made the impact then? Who was packing the clubs by themselves or their crews? And graffiti's been around for a long time. There's a different generation of graffiti artists that were the generation younger that became part of hip hop. But everybody, if you wasn't in the mix, if you can show me you was in the mix, then we got no argument. But stop it, because you're hurting those who don't know. This is your brother Van Silk, not in my house. Enjoy part 2 with Charlie Chase, Mr.Schick, Rubie D, Whip Crazy Legs, and my man Big Show out of Lamberg, and we had a guest on DJ Walt from the Bay Area. If you want to leave comments, please do. If you want to hit me up and inbox me, please do. But I am not here to insult anybody. We're only here to keep it right and articulate it right. Peace. Mel and Creole used to come to your house to rehearse.
Not a lot. Not a lot. They came to the house. Not a lot. Not a whole lot of times. I think it was because it was also, we were getting familiar with each other. It was summertime, so being indoors at the time wasn't what we wanted to do. And basically, at that time, it was real simple. It was so simple. Before records, before anything, it was an MC, it was a DJ. The DJ plays the break beats for the MC to rhyme on, and you just gotta keep it in pace, gotta keep it in order, in order for them, no scratches, no nothing, so they can do their thing, and you get creative on it. It was simple, bro. I mean, hip hop 101 back then. So it wasn't hard, man. And we developed a really good relationship, and then at the rap convention, the Emcee convention, was when the Casanovas came by and had a talk with them, and they went back with Flash.
And then you after they went back with Flash, and then here comes the Coldcrush brothers later on.
Right, the Coldcrush came along because I had my crew, RC again, who was very instrumental. We used to go to South Bronx High School with Joe Conzo and Tony Tone, right, and AD. So he said, "Yo, there's a guy in my school. He's down with Breakout and Baron. He does a sound for them, and he's looking to start something, And I was like, "Well, I already got a crew, And he was like, "Yeah, but you should meet him. He knows a lot of people. He's cool people." So he came by. He brought him by. I met Tony Tone. We became good friends. He got down with my crew. I mean, I got the flyers showing that he was down with my crew, Discotheque Productions, which was Tom and Jerry, the guys I was with at the time. He was the flyer. He started with me, and one day, at that point, I was so advanced in my DJing that I wasn't happy with the MCs I had because they didn't have that showmanship in them. They didn't have that natural ability to entertain on the stage. And I had so many ideas, I couldn't do it with that group. And I was always fucking like, yo, I got to get better MCs. So Tony Tone came up with an idea. He says, let's have an audition. And I said, that sounds like a good fucking idea. And Kaz, I had been after Kaz 2 years before that. For a long time, I've been like, yo, man, get down with me, get down with me. He never wanted to get down with me because he had his own crews. He said, yeah, I got the Mighty Fours, I got this, So I kind of tricked him and asked him to be a judge with me at the auditions. And that's when we picked out KG. And then I told Kaz, yo, get on the floor with them, man. Let's feel them out, see how they do it in a group scenario. He had JDL with him. And they started emceeing, and that was when the Coldcrush 4 was born, right then and there. So Tony, as far as the name, Tony Tone came up to me one day. I remember the day real clearly. I was at this pool hall across the street from my house. It was actually like a game room place, and Tony says, "Yo, I found the name that I want to call the group." And I said, "Let me see." So he brings this red and white flyer that at the very top said, "Another Coldcrush product." And he said, I want to call the group the Coldcrush Crew. And I said, yo, the name is dope, but I said, if we're going to do this, we're going to be like family. So let's change it to the Coldcrush Brothers. And he was like, bet. And that's how it started. And Whip and Dada Rock were the first members. They were down. And then 2 weeks later, they those insubordinate motherfuckers left on Theodore and a Fantastic Five. And that's how that got started.
Wow.
Yep.
That's the way it went down.
And Chase, I thank you for coming on because I got other people in, and I know you said you were gonna come on for a few, but we definitely gonna do something with one-on-one. But brother, you know I love you, man.
I hear you, man. Walt, first time I see you, man, I will always wonder what this guy looks like. I always see him on social media posting stuff, but I was like, who is this guy? Now I know.
I'm a
Good
fan.
to put a face.
Fan of hip hop.
I appreciate you, man. Good to put a face to the name now.
I'm over here. I can't find my fucking cone.
Because you can't find your glasses, you blind fuck. Look around.
Oh, they in my hand. They in my hand. Wait a minute. There you go.
All right, fellas. Rubie, I love you, baby. Guys, we're talking another time, man. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you. Now,
Hey,
people.
Van,
Yes.
Van, before you get, I wanted to answer. There was somebody. Rest in peace, Dada Rock. He was not Hispanic.
I know Dada Rock.
He was not Hispanic. No,
Whip.
somebody just asked that.
Don't even start that bullshit, Whip.
Hey, damn.
Whip, be nice. I'm gonna be like homeboy and good fella. Be nice now.
Yo, I'm always
It's
nice.
two of us now.
Now we got the other Hispanic brother in the place to be, Principal Whip, and we got Rubie D together.
Yeah.
Hey, Whip,
Fantastic.
Romantic.
I can't hear you, baby.
Fantastic is romantic. You can hear me?
Oh, you want me to do romantic or you want fantastic? Which one you want?
It doesn't make a difference. I'm both.
Hey, so
We're both.
brother, I got the two premier, legendary
Word up.
Hispanic brothers in hip hop. The first, now Whip.
Yo.
Before I fuck up, because I was saying that you didn't want to tell people back then that you was Hispanic because you might have felt left out, or was that some kind of scenario?
Where you going?
Nah, that was a rumor that was out for the longest. I don't even get that because I remember Dot was saying shit. Dot was like, he didn't know. I thought everybody spoke Spanish. I was like, what? Y'all don't speak Spanish? What the fuck wrong with you motherfuckers? I really literally.
Whip, cut the light on, baby.
I had that. I mean, I asked him. I'm like, what? Yo, you speak Spanish? We're like, what the fuck?
Yo, like,
It blew my mind.
Bronx, Puerto Rican.
Hey, Whip,
We got some
let me
light.
ask you a
like-
question.
Go for it.
What MCs Hispanic was before you and Rubie?
Pardon me?
What hip hop MCs were before you and Rubie Hispanic?
Shit, I don't know of any that far back.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I don't.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
And the thing is,
I don't know.
I mean, being who I am, I'm me. Now,
Who?
I really never thought. I said just being who I am, just myself. I never really, like when I heard MeanMachine and they was doing the legend, that was a great thing. I loved it. Came out. Didn't feel like it would catch on, but I didn't really start doing my Spanglish stuff till like '86, which is when I started doing salsa.
Yeah, I remember when you did that. I remember when you did it, but I'm just saying, when we was all around in 79, 78, 80, we didn't treat y'all no different.
No,
I never
nobody
knew
got
you
treated
was
different.
Spanish.
No, nobody treated me different.
No, but I never knew
Nobody
that
treated-
Whip was Hispanic until like Dada Rock told me.
That bitch was a secret.
And my thing was, but did y'all treat okay, y'all in the
he came to my house and ate on a daily. So how are you not gonna know when my mom's just cooking?
That knew.
Chicharrón de pollo y pernil and arroz con gandules. But I do remember when he was like, it was we got into a fight, not a fight, an argument, and I started me and my mom's, and I started we spoke better in Spanish, and he was like, "Oh shit!" He didn't know I was that fluent. He didn't know that, you know, that was in me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm in Spanish, so I can't talk to you in Spanish.
So, let me ask your two brothers a question. And you know we all been in the mud. We came with the grind.
Oh,
the
yeah.
$10 man, $5 man for parties, all that crap.
Oh yeah.
You know, Master Rob and Whip and Kevin Kev mother was playing manager. She'll show me the gun and all that shit.
Oh, yo, she gave it to us every night.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. As hip hop progressed from the MC and DJ's perspective, when the Fearless Four came with Tito and Master OC, y'all the birth of these guys. And Johnny from the Master Don and Death Committee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, homeboy from the what's his name? Charlie something that was down with
Charlie Rock.
MC3.
Charlie Rock.
Right. Y'all guys were the birth of these guys. I know a couple years ago, I talked to Mellow Man Ace.
Mellow Man.
He said, "Yo, man,
Okay.
yo, I study, and like Rubie D and Whip. They my idols. They open the door for us Hispanics in hip hop."
Enough respect.
And he said, "I didn't get to witness it, but he studied who did what." How does that make you feel?
That's actually great. I feel great.
Yeah.
For the fact that somebody who's also in the same business, it's the best form of flattery. And like I said, there's a lot of folks. See, a lot of people say, because I was listening earlier and he was asking how many people you see that would be Hispanic that would be in the club. Well, a lot of them folks, you wouldn't know they're Hispanic, because a lot of you go to Puerto Rico, there's people darker than you, and there's people whiter than me. Blue eyes, blonde hair.
No.
So you finally admit you a white boy.
This is the tricky one. There's a lot of them that been around us that we didn't know that was West Indian or Jamaica. Like Dougie is West Indian, Bam is West Indian, Flash is Barbadian, Herc is Jamaican. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't speak their dialect around us.
That's true. Because Bam did not talk like this, you know. Yep, you're right. But then I guess New York washes that out of you too, though. You know what I'm saying? New York, it's like because we gotta remember. Let's go back now to the 60s and 70s. Like my best friends in John Adams Projects, Reddy Goldie Chino was West Indian. I never knew Mr. Benjamin and Miss Benjamin was West Indian, but they didn't speak it on the street. They spoke it in the house. In the house, right.
But the reason why they learned to speak regular because they couldn't get jobs equal to Black Americans that was here, whatever they was paying, they was looked upon as coconuts.
Yes. I understand. I could understand that.
Okay, yeah.
I could understand that. People are cruel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bottom line, come on now. We were there. That's it. Case closed.
Well, I mean, Walt, do you have a question you want to ask?
Yeah, I just like in this day and age, do you guys feel like you guys get credit, or are you guys like overlooked? For me, it's like you guys are like the unicorns of hip hop, because it's like, for me, it's not talked about a lot, you know. And my experience from hip hop comes from '79, from Sugar Hill Records on up, so I can only go by the dates. And I was a fan of rap, and you know, listening to Rubie D out the gate saying he was Puerto Rican, or just checking the credits and seeing Spanish last names involved in something that I was into, you know, that was impactful. But I feel like you guys don't get enough love. I don't know if that's the case or not.
Well, you know, bottom line, what was kind of funny is I just reading with somebody that said Latinos and Jamaicans been in hip hop since day one. You know, all right, let's say we getting love now. We might be the unicorns, but you know, and that it doesn't really surprise me, but just the fact that people we grew up in a melting pot now. I didn't really notice much prejudice except for the gangsters, the real gangsters. Like going through Little Italy and shit like that. You have to watch your ass going through Little Italy. But going through the rest of the boroughs, going through Cortona Park at 12 o'clock at night like me and Doc used to do, which I wouldn't do today. But, you know, doing all of these things, it just seemed normal. It just seemed normal. We were treated normal. We were normal. I didn't see anybody bugging out or tripping. And now, I guess, okay, everything's a fine line now. There's a lot of college symposiums and history that was taught to us while we were in schools. Oh, I gotta go back to the bedroom, man. My light's going out. My battery.
But you know what gets me so mad? We're
here.
alive.
We were there.
But what gets me mad? We alive.
Yes.
And they'll go and talk to somebody who wasn't there to witness nothing that we did.
That's another thing. Who are all these people doing all of these things? All these historians and shit. I like it when you're right, but when the facts sometimes are terrible, man.
You need to write. Though, yeah.
The facts are way
Seems
off.
like people
Well,
that's
you know,
outside of New
I
York is
talked to
making
Shaw
those
Rock.
comments,
Shout out
though.
to Shaw Rock.
You know, most of them, all they say is,
I
heard, and I tell them exactly, you heard.
You heard.
You weren't there.
But let me
My
say
baby.
this real quick.
What?
And I was talking to Shaw Rock as we talk every day. They're going to try to eliminate the first generation. They don't want to talk about 73 because a lot of them, they wasn't around with Coke, Rock, Cool Herc, the nigga twins, Blackjack. They wasn't around with when things was formulating, so they can't relate to it. So they just rather say like it don't exist. Okay, let me explain something to all these who think they know hip hop, who don't understand. If you was not part of the first 10 years, you know nothing about the history. You have no clue.
Better get it while we still alive.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I look at all these Smithsonians and they got people in there. They trying to pick your brain. And like, who's this on this flyer? I said, me and AJ made this convention flyer. And you were asking me about a group on here that I couldn't even name you the members. These were groups that was invited to try to get on. Now, if you want to ask me who's in Fantastic Five, I tell you. If you want to ask me who in the Funky Four, I tell you. If you want to ask me who in the Magnificent Seven, I'll tell you. But don't ask me about a group we just threw on it. It was like giving a group a break, and if they made it. I couldn't tell you who was in Slick and Sly. I couldn't tell you the MCs. Oh, and rest in peace to Tyrone the mixologist, DJ Cool D brother. You know Tyrone mixologist passed last week.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yes, and a lot of people don't understand that Cool D and Tyrone the mixologist, it was their sound system used back in the day with Disco King Mario. But a lot of people don't want to understand or recognize that. But I'm telling you what the deal was. Rest in peace, Tyrone the mixologist.
There's a lot of people who are pertinent, and as they said earlier, if they did their due diligence and that they, if they were relevant, they would still be here representing. But there were a lot of folks that were from all different nationalities that were down with us back in the day. Like even like when I grew up, man, my block, we had Chinese, you know what I'm saying, Puerto Ricans,
Everybody.
Black, we had everybody. So for somebody to say that, oh well, this is not a part of this and this is not a part of that, man, that's just your opinion.
No, but you know what though, respectfully, about those who was making an impact. I'm not saying that you wasn't at a block party or you was on the other side of the ropes or you was out there and eventually wanted to dance on the rug. It's like no different than an MC. I don't care how long you've been MCing until you got on that flyer, you ain't made shit.
Yeah, you're right about that one.
Yeah.
Until you got paper. That's how you get paper.
Do something.
That's why I got the block party.
Crazy Legs. He's
listening. I will at the block party. If you ain't come under the rope, you want down. Soon as you got, that's like the flyer. You're not on the flyer.
Yo.
Oh, don't know what to say.
That was your record deal. Y'all got on the flyer. It was your record deal.
Yep. Yeah.
You couldn't go. If you couldn't get on the flyer to perform and do shows, and y'all have done many shows. We did shows with you, AJ, man, Dippolite. God bless his soul. Ray Chandler, Arthur Armstrong,
Richard
Mike
T.
Dave. Listen.
And all promotion was done on foot.
If you wasn't on there, not only did
How many
you
flyers
recognize,
you
couldn't get a girl. Because if you was on the flyer, that was your way to get a girl too.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
I'm on this flyer.
I'm on this
here
flyer.
tonight. Come on, that flyer meant a whole lot.
What?
Yeah, it did.
What?
Yeah, it did. Give me
Oh,
stacks.
you gonna be there?
We hit
Oh, yeah, I am. I'm coming.
all girl high schools first, then Clinton.
What? Dodge
Roosevelt,
High School.
Morris. We were all in different schools,
Oh
so
my
we
God.
had everything on lock. Right?
I used to like to hit up Walt
fun.
back in the day.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this as being a 64-year-old guy. Hip hop has brought a generation of people globally, every nationality. Because remember us growing up, and I went to PS 16 on 241st Street and Carpenter Avenue, and I had a lot of white friends. They was listening to Frank Zappa and all. And eventually they wasn't even. They was in our era in the 70s. They was John Travolta shit. Let's be real. But look at everything now. Look at it now. You got Korean and Chinese kids out in Japan and wherever. They just copy everything us blacks, us Latinos did.
Yeah.
Like, come on. The Latinos in the generation
that came
late 70s and on ain't the Latinos from the 60s. Because y'all know your Latino family roots was very strict.
You got that right.
Hey,
y'all know how strict,
the
old, your mom and them seeing Tito Puente and the Red Oils and Celia Cruz, they were strict.
Okay.
I remember when I first met Tito from the Fearless Four and went to his mother's house in Manhattanville, and she had a big plate of rice and beans. I didn't want them. If you don't eat it, you're not leaving.
Yeah.
You better dig in on them veins, man. Stop playing.
But hey, Theodore used to love coming over my house. Boy, we used to be.
Walt Wiz, I need you to ask one more question because I might have to let you go out. So
Okay.
Crazy
No,
brother.
you can I can let go so you can put somebody out. I'm gonna keep listening because I'm getting the knowledge.
But I appreciate you being here. Listen, I want you to have this shine with these legendary brothers. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah, I'm like beside myself. I'm just like, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate all.
We're gonna do this again.
For sure.
We're not unicorns.
No, he's real.
Thank you, Walt Wiz, from the Bay Area. My man, and keep doing what you're doing. We gonna
salute.
Salud, papi. Hablamos.
Honorary legend now.
All right, thank you.
For real.
He's 52 years old.
Hey, yo, Crazy Larry said he was sneaking out the fire escape to go to the jams.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, I done got dark here for a second, but I'm coming back.
We
I'm back here.
Legs.
Hey. Can I get my
Oh
sneakers?
my God.
We got crazy legs in the building. Can I get my sneakers?
Yeah.
I'm gonna dig up something. One day, something's going to you, bro.
How you doing, brother, man?
I'm good. I had a great weekend. Started off with a bang with Whip, Kaz, and oh God, who else? Joe Conzo and everyone talk. The same. It's funny how the people talking about all this nonsense got no data on themselves. All the people complaining got no data on themselves. They got no archives. They got no kind of references to say anything other than what they heard someone else said, and they try to just twist it around.
But you know what, Crazy Legs, and I respect you, and I remember, and God bless our brother K. Slade when you went and did What's the Science.
That's
with K. Slade.
Yeah, that's
and you met the original Clark Kent that day.
Yeah.
And Coca Rock and Mark Collins from the Collins brothers. Y'all was all there. And I think you would have been the baby there that day.
I was definitely the baby. I love being a baby. I'm tired of being an old dude in the room.
Well, you know what? You here with your legendary brothers, and I spoke out and saying, listen, if you're a certain age, you couldn't be there, but you,
What you doing
a brother
here?
like you, K Slay, rest in peace to Frosty Freeze,
Yeah.
Swift, and all your brothers with little babies out at the
Well, you
same
know,
time. Yo, were babies.
well, Ken Swift was from Manhattan. I didn't know Ken Swift because I lived in the Bronx. I mean, and here's the crazy shit. And it kind of fucked my head up the other night, and I told my girl, I was like, yo, like, I really had an unstable childhood. By the time I was 18, we had moved 9 to 10 times. I went through all my addresses, and I'm like, wow, man. So just on evictions,
Wow.
just on evictions alone, I was there. But you know, the crazy thing is, so me and African Islam lived on the same block. I don't know if you knew that. You know the Mayberry area?
Yep.
Yeah, I lived right over there. So the first time I saw breaking was my brother, Robert Cologne. He's like 4 years older than me. And then, of course, Islam. And my brother was actually part of the organization before it became Zulu. So, and I saw him dance in the 76. So, yeah, it's like there's so much shit that's like we could all, like, you know, my brother never pursued anything but DJing, so he didn't blow up as a B-boy, but he was rocking with one of the most original crews in the game, you know, the organization.
But you know what though, and I'm gonna say this with Whip, and I'm gonna say this with Rubie on the phone. Somebody just dropped though. Where Ruben? His phone died.
Oh, wait a second.
Thing.
I didn't realize that was Rubie D. Holy shit. Where's the afro? Bring the afro.
It's in the closet. It's in the box now.
Oh, shit.
But
Yeah, you were going to say, bro?
I'm gonna say this because I think people think I was gonna get on here.
He's back. Hey, yes.
Yeah.
I want to say this to Crazy Legs because I think people thinking the way I be doing my thing on my YouTube. No, it's not like that. We're not going to get in front of each other and disrespect each other. We got something to ask each other. We'll call them up.
Word.
But I want to say something besides the organization, the Zulu Nation, as a standing organization in hip hop. I'm going to keep it to the hip hop side. You also took the Rocksteady crew and made it an organization as well that you stood up on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And just for the record,
that's
I didn't just so you know, I didn't create Rocksteady. A lot of people think I did, but it was actually my two dudes who were like notorious stick-up kids in the Bronx. I don't know if I'm sure Whip knew about Jimmy Lee and Jimmy D.
Yep.
So those are the dudes who started Rocksteady crew, and they used to be around Creston and 183rd a lot.
That was the black, baby. That was the black.
Yeah, you was walking up in Creston unless you had some sort of clout, you was talented, or you was a stick, you were gonna rob somebody.
For real.
Yeah.
With no joke.
So let me ask you a question. With everything going on with the Olympics now, what does that stand with some of the OGs from the B-boy community?
Me personally, I never co-signed it, but I never dissed it because I'm not trying to trample on the lives of the youth that would be in those competitions. So I'm trying to be careful with what I say. So my thing is, what I would like to see them do is create an ambassadorship program that leads back to the hood, that also creates a level playing field for people like us who came up with this shit, or, you know, where the flavor comes from. You know, always have that, you know, and then a good judging system. And, you know, teach the history, right. And you know, recognize that this isn't, you know, people, they're going to say it's an American art form, but at the end of the day, we're the bastards of America. Come on, man. It's like, you know, this America can't take full credit for this one because, well, let me correct myself. Had we not been going through poverty, maybe this wouldn't have come alive.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll tell you, no.
Yeah.
Well, I want
We
everybody.
had that.
Hey, Whip, what's wrong with your phone?
That ain't my phone. I'm good.
Yeah, that's Rubie D.
Oh, well, I just want everybody This is Van Soap out of my house, and we have our Hispanic brothers from the culture of hip hop. We done had Charlie Chase on, Mr.Schick from MeanMachine. I'm sitting here with Rubie D and Whip from Grandwizzard Theodore the Fantastic 5, and I'm sitting here with Crazy Legs from the world famous Rocksteady crew.
Hey, I got a question.
man.
Were you ever in a crew? What crew were you in?
You're not a senior citizen yet, are you? You're not a senior citizen yet, are you?
Who, me?
You have an AARP card?
I refuse to answer what
those applications since I was 40, yo.
Bro, I refuse to answer that question on the grounds that I may incriminate myself.
Let me ask y'all guys.
I think I told somebody I was 40 last week.
Hey, I'm 50,
so I can't.
I'm about to be 57, bro.
Let me ask you guys a question. And we all
again
been around. We've been around this. We've been around this ring a couple times, and we lost a lot of good brothers who are not going to see a lot of things happen in the next couple years, even the 50th anniversary. Did you think that you would see year 50 coming up next year, that we will be around, or this will be around?
Thank God that we are. Or hopefully we'll be. I can't predict the future, but we made it this far. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, man, when you get to our age, it's like, that's a blessing.